right. Hey, everybody. This is Dominic DeAngelo of OneTrueSportTV.com and FourHorsemenNetwork.com. First interview of 2025 I am doing, and that's a pleasure to start off with none other than Tessa Blanchard, who's going to be facing Jordynne Grace at TNA Genesis this Saturday. You can check it out on pay-per-view. Tessa,
Sunday.
This Sunday. It's Sunday. Thank you. January 19th, Sunday. That's right, Sunday. How are you doing? It's good to speak with you for the first time.
I'm doing good. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. We were chatting a little bit before about you and my stepdad, so this is super cool to be able to be on here with you.
That's right. It's a pleasure, too. Yeah, it's great. Magnum and Greg Gagne are part of the Four Horsemen Network on here, and so it's awesome to have you on here, too. I might as well start off with this. Growing up under Magnum and everything like that, what did you learn about him? What did you learn about yourself from like a personal standpoint? What has he kind of taught you life lessons wise?
Oh gosh, I don't even know if we have enough time in this interview for everything that I know, right? No, but honestly, my stepdad, he's like my best friend. Like we're so close. Anything that I need advice or help with, I know that I can go to him judgment free, and I can be as filter free as possible and trust in him. And I really rely on his advice with a lot of things, personal, professional. But yeah, he's just one of the greatest guys.
He is. He's so down to earth, straightforward, and it's really nice to talk to him on a weekly basis. I learn a lot from him just from other perspectives. Just his work ethic is great too. It's like it's unbridled.
He's always been one of the hardest workers. Always.
Yeah, 100%. How much of it matches have you gone back and watched of his and anything like that and studied from him?
I love going back and watching like old school matches. Johnny Valentine's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
But the I Quit match, Starrcade 85 of my dad and my stepdad, that's probably one of, all bias aside, it's one of my favorite matches. Just the emotion and everything. Like I always try to model my style a little bit after those, I guess, old school guys, just the realism in it.
Yeah, there's so much to it too, and the authenticity and what those guys brought to that rivalry and everything like that. It just stands out. It's so unique that you're just part of that history and that a generational talent that kind of is carrying on the legacy of the business too. And it's really fascinating to see that. I did want to, I guess the news just broke that TNA and NXT made the announcement that there's the partnership forming, a long-term partnership. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And have you checked out a lot of the NXT talent that's been there? And what do you think of the wrestling landscape and how it's kind of merging together?
I have. I've followed along with some of the NXT stuff, and I think some of those girls are just absolutely great. For instance, Stephanie Vaquer and we have a history in CMLL over in Mexico. We've had some banger matches out there. So her and I were actually chatting, and we're like, maybe we'll get to see each other in the ring again one day. And I know that would be just a treat. But there's some girls that I'm not familiar with personally, but watching their work that I watch it and I'm like, gosh, there's the Kailani Jordan. She's absolutely phenomenal in the ring. The Sol Ruka. She's phenomenal in the ring, and just seeing the way that these ladies move, there's a lot of promise over there. And I hope that some of the ladies in the TNA locker room get to mix it up with a lot of them. I think that this partnership is, it's something special. I think it's something that no one could have expected. It's something that people have been talking about, but now it's in ink. Now it's out there for the whole world to see. And it's a huge blessing for both companies, because just like NXT is filled with such amazing talent and leadership, TNA is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What I constantly hear about TNA is how great the locker room is. The dynamic between everybody is there. Somebody that's a big proponent, I know that, is Gail Kim and everything. Wanted to get your thoughts about working with her again and just making your return ultimately to TNA, and how that's been for you and what that's kind of been felt for you.
So I haven't really had experiences in the locker room too much. I just got back, but working with Gail Kim again I've always said it'd be a treat. I have a good relationship with her, and having her comeback match with her, that's something that I'll always hold very close to my heart, because I'll always say Gail Kim was before her time. She was in the Divas era trying to make women's wrestling what we're all fighting for now and what it is. Let's just like, we're not going through this, like we're here. Come on.
Right.
Like the women are going out there, they're killing it. They're having some of the best matches on the card. I know over in CMLL, and I see it in NXT, there's 2, 3, 4 women's matches on a card sometimes. And it's a really cool thing to see. So working with Gail again, she's got such a mind for wrestling. She's a pioneer for us women. She'll always be that. And who knows, maybe we can get her back in the ring.
Ooh, I think everybody would be all for that. Absolutely. You know, no, it's so cool because like you talk about it, like even before NXT really started taking off and things like that, the promotion that defined the women's division was TNA and the Knockouts division. They were like the premier kind of thing. Right? Yeah. They defined what it was. They really launched it way before NXT started doing it. And then now you see it today, you know, women's wrestling's main eventing, you know, mainstream shows from Raw to SmackDown to, you know, TNA and Impact and everything like that. And it really speaks to like everything being on a comparable level and what women's wrestling can do for it. How do you feel about being in that mix now and like just being one of those top stars that is like moving forward with the women's wrestling in general?
It's exciting. It feels very natural for me because it feels like I'm finally stepping back to where I'm supposed to be. It feels like I'm finally stepping back and jumping in. My personality, the person that I am, I don't half-ass anything. I don't want to be good. I want to be great. I don't want to be passable. I want to be the best in the world. You know, if I'm cleaning floors, my schoolwork, or if I'm in the ring, it doesn't matter what it is. So it feels very natural. It feels like the timing of God is perfect. Like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And to have this partnership with TNA and WWE, it's just like the possibilities are endless. It's like that.
Yeah, it's such a wild time to think something like this could happen, like in past years and everything like that. It seemed unfathomable, but now it's just like this possibility of like everybody working together and kind of like building one another up is really, really cool. I have to look. So I went on Wikipedia, and it kind of blew my mind when I did. That you did a lot of theater when you were younger. Is that true? Like in high school and everything?
Total musical theater nerd.
Okay, me too. So I was in it all throughout high school.
I think that's why we connected.
Yeah. So, all right, what shows have you been into, and then what shows are you into? What are some of your favorites?
Which ones have I actually been in? And
what have you? Yes. What have? Let's start with that.
So back in school, I was in Lion King.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't think this is probably like my trauma is I thought I was a good singer and I probably wasn't. So I never got any like good roles. Like I think I was townsperson in The Music Man.
Okay.
And I was the narrator, like in the new Aladdin, I think was like what Will Smith is. And he's the genie, but he plays the narrator too. I was I wasn't the genie. Just the narrator. So it came out to tell the story moving. I was in Greece. I was in what else did we do? Oh, we did in my choir, we did like competition choir every year. And we did a medley of The Wizard of Oz and Wicked.
Oh man, really?
And so that was cool. So you better believe like I was the girl in the back of the theater, like defying gravity. No, that's me.
That's it.
I remember my 5th grade graduation, like our choir sang For Good from Wicked.
Really?
So. But I love it. My favorites though, like favorites of all time would have to be Les Mis.
Yes.
That's like number 1. And then Phantom of the Opera.
Ooh, those are good ones.
Those are like top of the list.
I love Andrew Lloyd Webber. Big into, yes.
I saw Phantom on Broadway and then Billy Elliot on Broadway, the Elton John musical, and both. But Phantom, incredible.
Phantom's good stuff. I was in Jesus Christ Superstar. But there's so many. Is there if you had the dream role to pick out of a musical, what would it be though? It's a tough one.
Is that weird to say I want to be the Phantom?
No, you're the first
Or like
female heavyweight champ.
Eponine and Les Mis, like,
There you
I
go.
love that. And she's an alto like me, so I'm like, cool.
Heck yeah, can't beat that. Now, how much being in the musical stuff and theater, obviously, how much did that help you with wrestling in the aspect of that?
You know, I feel like it was the best of both worlds colliding because, like, I was always doing theater classes. I would take the light rail down to downtown Charlotte to my Charlotte Children's Theater classes, and and I was always an athlete in school too. I ran track and field. I did cheerleading. I did. I played soccer. I did all different sports. And so it was kind of like I never really knew where I fit in. I was friends with a bunch of different groups of people. And then it was like, oh, what is this world? This is me. I like this.
Theater kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm trying to think too. Yes, from a persona standpoint and things like that, did theater help you a lot, kind of express yourself in that way? And did you kind of see that? Did you want to take more of that lane when you were a kid, or did you always kind of foresee wrestling kind of being down the pipeline for you?
It wasn't wrestling until I turned about 18 years old. Always, it was theater. Like my dream was to be on Broadway. Like that was it. And then I love acting. I would love to be in a movie one day or some kind of action film. Like I would love it. But that was always my main focus. And my parents really pushed me to follow those things or be involved in those types of things. I remember every weeknight I'd go down to the Charlotte Children's Theater. It was right next to where WWE runs the Bank of America Stadium in downtown Charlotte. So they would drop me off at the light rail on South Boulevard. I would take the light rail all the way down to the last stop in downtown Charlotte, get off, go to my classes. And I was so young, so I thought I was so cool getting to ride the light rail. Right. And one of my friends would meet me like at her stop, so we'd ride it together. And I loved it. That was my happy place.
Oh man. The nice thing about, because I did theater in high school, and then I played basketball. I sat on the bench. I was horrible, but it was like the balance of having sports and theater. It's such a perfect amalgamation. And then here you get pro wrestling, and it's both of them together.
Exactly. It's like a mashup. It's perfect.
You can't beat that. So did you do Shakespeare too? Did you like?
I forgot I did do Shakespeare.
Yeah, well, that's what it's on Wikipedia. So I was like,
yes, I forgot. I think I was like second place, or I won out of my group, and then we went on to nationals. And I think I don't remember what I placed. It wasn't first, but the Shakespeare recitation competition. Yeah, and I couldn't even tell you what I performed. I think it was something from Romeo and Juliet, but yeah, I completely forgot that I did that.
Yeah, that's what it said on Wikipedia. I was like, whoa, really? Okay. Shakespeare. Listen, I hated Shakespeare. I hated it. And then like when I started learning about it more in college, and I got into the Scottish play. I know I'm not in the theater, so I don't have to worry. But it's like I got in that, and then I like appreciate it because you're trying to interpret it to an audience, a modern audience. It's such a fun. Yeah. It's such a fun medium.
I remember I would like get a sonnet or something, and I would have to go line by line and break it down. Like, what does this mean? What emotion am I conveying? And then like working before I actually perform it, like trying to figure it out. But yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's that nice thing about it is making a jump to wrestling and everything. Now, is there somebody in wrestling too that you kind of bonded with over theater or something like that? Is there another talent that really likes theater a lot?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if many people know that about me.
No, it blew my mind when I read it.
I don't really like tell many things about my personal life to too many people. So I'm not sure if someone sees this and you're into theater, let's chat it up about The Lion King.
Chat it up. Yeah. Get to recite some Wicked. I haven't seen the movie or anything like that yet.
Oh, it's so good, but they cut you right. I didn't know it was a part 2 type thing. So they cut you off right after Defying Gravity, and I'm just like,
cliffhanger.
We didn't even get to all the songs. So I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it before the second one comes out.
Right. Yeah. I know. Like reacclimate yourself with this one. I tell you what, I'll leave the theater stuff with this, but my favorite musical is Into the Woods. I love Into the Woods.
Really?
Yes, number one. I like Sondheim so much. I was Jack in high school.
Don't tell me you love cats too.
No, oh,
it's just terrible.
I love cats, the animal, but I don't like
the music. I'm talking about the musical.
Yeah, I know, but I like the animal, but I don't like the musical.
I feel like if you want to punish me, make me sit through Cats.
Mr. Mistopheles, no thanks. Not having it. Having it. Okay, hey, this is a wrestling interview, I guess. What about
right?
Yeah, right. How about facing Jordynne Grace this weekend? What do you scouting her? Some tension. That you make that big return. There's a lot going on between you and her, so I'm excited to see it.
I'm looking forward to it. When I decided to come back to TNA Wrestling, when we made the decision, I wanted to come back and I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to send a message. And who better to do that with than the top dog right now, Jordynne Grace. Everyone's talking about her. She's a powerhouse. She's a phenomenal talent. Every company's trying to grab for her. She's incredible. And so when I came back, I was like, that's who I'm making a statement with. Because before I left this company, I was untouchable. I was the top of the mountain. And when I left, it allowed a space that opened up for someone to take the ball and run with it. And that's what Jordynne did, was she took the ball and she ran with it. But I'm here and I'm taking my ball back.
Heck yeah. Now, how big of a highlight is it for you to have that note about you being the first female world champion? Was that something that you really will always carry with you, do you think? Or do you look forward to that more, just completely furthering your women's division and building that up and making your legacy there too?
Mm-hmm. It was a big milestone for women. It was something that hadn't been done in the entire world of combat sports. It's the first time a female has won a world heavyweight championship. It was something that was built to be just historical. I'm so grateful for the locker room in Impact Wrestling that I got to work with. All the guys, all the girls, from Eddie Edwards to Brian Cage to Rich Swann to Josh Alexander and Ethan Page and Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, the Rascals all together. It was just a locker room that was absolutely incredible. And I had the opportunity to fight so many of them, learn from so many of them, and really advance who Tessa Blanchard, the wrestler, was. And for that to happen, sure, it's something that I will never forget, but it's not something I'm going to hang all of my weight on. I still have a lot of unfinished business. There's a lot of goals that I have, and I'm so jet set focused on this Sunday, on once I make an example out of Jordynne Grace, once I take my locker room back, what's next? And I'm already thinking that far ahead.
Heck yeah, that's right. It's like looking forward ahead and seeing what's to come. So Genesis is an appropriate name for a pay-per-view right now because it's the beginning of a new
Genesis
thing, right? Seems pretty appropriate. Well, this was a lot of fun, Tessa. Anything else you want to plug or get over, or musicals you want to recommend for people?
You guys can follow TNA Wrestling online on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can follow Tessa Blanchard at Tessa Blanchard. Tickets are still on sale if you go to TNAWrestling.com/events. Minimal tickets, I believe, but there's still some there, so go and grab them. VIP tickets, we've got some special gifts for you guys. I just went down to the arena yesterday and saw them, and if you guys don't take them, I'm going to try to. So go get your tickets. Come out this Sunday. We're out here in Garland, Texas, DFW area, and we're waiting for you. You guys won't want to miss this.
Heck yeah. TNA is on the rise. You got a lot of fun stuff coming up this year, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it too, Tessa. It's a lot of fun to see you back in the mix. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, and I'm going to have to talk a little musicals with Magnum now that I know this. So we're going to have to see what he has to say about this. Get his perspective. So,
really Dominic.
Yeah, right. That's it. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time here on 1tsport.com and 4 Horsemen Network.